Hi, thanks for being here. I am so excited to share these episodes with you. And before we begin, I just want to share a quick note on this season's format before we dive in. This series is designed to provide a ton of valuable content in a short amount of time, because let's face it, we're all busy and time is super precious. Each episode will consist of 2 parts. In part 1, we'll be sharing education and resources for your organization on the topics of branding, website development, and marketing strategy. In part 2, we're going to bring on a guest speaker to talk about real-world applications for the topics covered in part 1. In today's episode, we're going to cover the tried and true strategies that Main Impact uses with its clients to increase their visibility, growth, and impact. Without further ado, let's dive in. Early in my career, I partnered with a nonprofit that provides artistic and economic opportunities for people experiencing housing insecurity through access to a variety of creative and artistic resources. I quickly realized that their mission was incredibly powerful, but they needed more than just a brand new website if they wanted to scale their impact. That was just one of the experiences that led me to grow my business from just being a one-woman web design show into the marketing and design agency that it is today. And along the way, we've developed a strategic process that allows our clients to focus on what they do best, which is making a difference, while we handle the rest to increase their visibility, growth, and impact. Step 1 is to create a brand that authentically builds trust. Your brand is the foundational step of your business growth. If your branding is suffering, the rest of your marketing efforts are likely going to fall flat. Just like any relationship you're going to build, it takes time, proximity, and authenticity to foster a connection. You are most likely not going to just marry somebody after one conversation with them. It takes that time and relationship building, and it takes effort to really establish a relationship with somebody. So you need to interact with your audience in a way that is meaningful, that provides value and resources before you ever try to sell them anything. You need to be willing to offer help authentically and build that relationship from the get-go. Just a quick example of this, we worked with a national retail and e-commerce brand on their branding refresh. They came to us because their design was not cohesive, they didn't have a formalized art direction, and it was contributing to a really high abandoned cart rate. So we came in and conducted extensive research of their audience and their competitors. We implemented basic design principles and user experience expertise to formalize their art direction, simplify the UX on their website, and assist them with brand integration across all of their marketing channels with this new brand direction. And in just the 3 months that followed that, they saw a reduction in their abandoned cart rate, and their email conversion rate increased by 5%. Brands like Nike, McDonald's, REI, these are just household names now because they spent years and a lot of money fostering authentic and trustworthy relationships with their consumers. You may not be a household name yet with your brand, but your brand identity should convey your values and connect with the right audience. And only once you have that brand clarity can you work on step 2, which is to build a website that actually converts. If you're lucky, you have 7 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 seconds to capture a user's attention when they first come to your website. Your website can't just be sitting on the internet. It needs to be working for you 24/7. Every successful website needs to communicate 3 things on the homepage. First, it needs to communicate who this website is for. Second, your website needs to communicate what problem do you solve. And third, your website needs to communicate how does somebody get the solution. Many organizations will often neglect at least one of those 3 things when they're developing their website. For instance, we had a nonprofit come to us seeking a new partner for their website maintenance. We used our proprietary website analysis checklist to conduct a website audit and discovered that their previous service provider had actually neglected over a dozen basic website building principles. They had buttons on their homepage that were linking to 404 pages, broken website pages. The email newsletter and email sign-up form was broken, and it was turning away potential volunteers. But most importantly, their donation page was missing content and had typos and was turning away their highest potential donors. Within the first month of working with them, our team was able to address all of those issues and more in order for them to focus on their important values-driven work and connect to their fundraisers, focus on their events, and increase their impact while we handle the technical side. It often takes a fresh set of eyes to ensure that you're not missing out on potential sales, potential donors, potential partners. Our website audit worksheet, which is linked in the show notes, has over 30 mistakes that we frequently see when customers come to us after trying to DIY their own website. And if you want an extra set of eyes on it, we offer a free 15-minute consultation and walk through that audit with you to help identify any other gaps in your marketing strategy that maybe you've missed. Which leads me to the third and final step. 3, craft a marketing strategy that moves people from awareness of your brand to action and interacting with your organization. In order for a marketing strategy to be the most effective, it needs to be cross-platform, clear, and customer-centric. Now, every marketing strategy, while it'll have its nuances on how you actually approach your marketing tactics and your campaigns, every strategy should follow a pattern with these 4 steps. First, your strategy should address your client's problem, not the problem you think that they have, the problem that they actually have. 2, you need to position your offer as the solution to your customer's problem. 3, you need to create a genuine connection through storytelling, which is why it's important to have your brand clarity established. And 4th, you need to lead the potential customer toward a direct call to action. It is all too common for businesses and nonprofits to get caught up in the idea of, I don't want to be too salesy, I don't want to be too pushy, and so they never directly ask for a sale or a donation. But when a visitor is coming to your website, they are expecting a business relationship that is transactional. You need to be able to clearly walk your users from awareness to action through your marketing funnel and up the engagement ladder. Now, how do you actually do that? How do you build that marketing strategy? Well, we're going to cover all of this and more later on in the season, but in a nutshell, you want to first understand and research where your audience is. Second, you want to identify your business's goals and outline the steps to get there. And third, you need to have the systems and the tracking in place to analyze your campaign's success and ensure that your marketing is actually working. Your marketing strategy is a living organism. It is constantly changing, and you need to be able to identify the gaps and identify what is shifting in your industry very quickly so that you can adapt with it. In order to have long-term success with your marketing, you need to be able to very quickly pivot your marketing strategy with the things that are changing in your audience and the industry. We had a client come to us with a low email conversion rate, and our team was able to craft a multi-channel lead generation campaign for them. It consisted of 6 touch points across 3 marketing channels for the duration of 2 weeks. We A/B tested the lead generation strategy over the course of 2 to 3 months initially to really identify what was resonating, what was working, how were people interacting with the content, where were the drop-off points. Initially, the campaign saw a 3% conversion rate, but because we were able to continue the A/B testing and quickly adapt the lead generation campaign, we were able to bump that conversion rate up to 5% by the end. So how does all of this apply to your business? Well, if your goal is to build trust and awareness with your audience, you might want to focus on building up your email marketing campaigns and your social media platform. If you are launching a new product or service or even a new business, your next best step is most likely some version of a marketing funnel with a lead magnet to nurture new prospects. But regardless of your goal and regardless of your business, you can't map out your route for marketing until you know your destination. Growing a business and making an impact aren't passive activities. They are actually a lot like growing a garden. I use that analogy a lot when I'm talking with clients, but if you want to produce fruit, if you want your garden to flourish, you first need to till and prepare the soil. You need to plant the seeds. You need to water your garden. You need to tend to it daily in order to see that change and that growth over a period of time. So, if you want your business to be scalable and to be sustainable, then you also have to treat it like a garden. You need to get technical and you need to get strategic with your branding, your website development, and your marketing. Branding builds trust, your website converts, and your marketing strategy carries those forward. But if you're not big into gardening, that's okay. Our team is. Main Impact does the heavy lifting of marketing and design for organizations so that they can solely focus on their mission-driven work. You can scan the QR code on screen or click the link in the show notes for access to the free website audit that I mentioned earlier when we used it for our client. And if you're looking for a strategic partner to identify the best growth opportunities for your organization, or you just want an extra set of eyes on that audit, we are happy to come alongside you and be a partner in that journey. You can contact us at www.mainimpact.com. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.